Good morning, Oklahoma, and welcome to Cow-Calf Corner. This week I'm going to tell a story about a couple butcher calves. Dr. Paul Beck and I had this conversation this week. We found it interesting, so it led to this week's topic. My family raises butcher calves for our own use, sell them to some family and friends. This week we took in two calves. Hot carcass weight on those calves was 935 pounds on a black-hided Angus side calf, and another calf had a hot carcass weight of 951. So I went back and looked at records as far as what the cows weighed that produced the calves and some of how we'd managed them. So the calves themselves were born in the last week of March, a year ago in the 2025 spring calving season. So at the point of harvest, they were just under 16 months of age. Those calves weighed close to 1,500 pounds, and I've already told you what the hot carcass weights were. Those calves were sired by a registered Angus bull whose genetic values for weaning weight were in the top 20% of current Angus sires. EPD for yearling weight was in the best 15%. EPD for residual average daily gain was in the best 3% of the breed. The interesting part becomes the cows that they were out of. Both those steers were produced by cows that are about 8 years of age. Those cows were purchased 4 years ago as bred cows. Those cows have bred back promptly, calved early in the calving season each year since that time. But the mature weight of the black cow that produced the black-hided calf is 1,180 pounds. The mature weight of the black-nosed smoked cow that produced the 951-pound hot carcass weight calf is 1,280 pounds. Neither of those cows would be considered that big. They're not that big. We don't know anything about the genetic background of the cows. Again, they were purchased in a group of bred cows in March of 2022. So what's the point? In the past couple years, Dr. Beck, Dr. Peel, myself, we've written quite a bit, and there's been many articles on mature cow size, this trend that we've been in as we are feeding cattle longer, taking them to heavier weights than we ever have before. We've had the Rancher's Lunchtime series. It's called The Tug of War in the Beef Cattle Industry. A lot of writing space has been devoted to this, and I encourage you to look back at previous Cow-Calf Corner and look at those articles that are cited at the end of my written article that comes out in our newsletter on July 27th. But didn't take very big cows to produce calves that had a great deal of growth, ended up by 16 months of age weighing about 1,500 pounds, yielding carcasses that are right in line with what we're currently seeing. Our average, last time I checked a week ago, steer carcasses right now are averaging about 963. We continue to see that average hot carcass weight in our weekly harvest mix in this country go up a little bit each week, and probably will continue to do so. So an interesting topic, speaks to intentional mating, mature cow size, and what we can produce as far as the superior growth genetics through intentional mating. Hope you find this interesting, and as always, thanks for joining us on Cow-Calf Corner.